We should start. There's some people here.
Hi, you guys. My name is Sami Miro, and I am a fashion designer and founder of the sustainable clothing company Sami Miro Vintage. And this is Michael Voltaggio.
I guess I should get to work.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm Michael. I cook the food around here, do the dishes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a chef, and yeah, it's the holidays. So today, normally around our house or this house, I know there's a few expectations when the holidays are around or a special occasion. One being something gold, one being something in a little blue pouch or a little blue box, and the last thing being caviar. Sami actually, outside of being an incredible designer, grew up in a household where her father is probably one of the best at-home chefs I've ever met in my life. So understand the level of stress that comes with me not only having to give her a gift, but to cook for her at the same time. I'm a little nervous right now. So what I tried to do is take care of all of those in one shot. So what we're going to make today are these little baby blue pouches, filled with some caviar, some smoked salmon, and a little gold string to wrap it up. So I feel like my DIY gift giving skills have been raised a little bit at having met this one. So
essentially, very well said, thank you. I don't know, he's definitely not nervous cooking around me at all.
Every time.
So one of my favorite, very special treats, favorite food in the world is caviar. I love Sami Miro and Ikora. And Michael essentially brought all of my favorite things together in one and turned it into a absolutely beautiful Tiffany blue pouch.
Loves caviar. In fact, if I want to talk through this entire thing, that's all I have to do is take a spoonful of caviar, go like this, and we're good. So, blue is not a natural color for food at all. In fact, there are very few things out there that you can find to naturally dye food blue. What I'm going to use today to create these little pouches is actually called the butterfly pea flower. So what that is a flower that grows much like a dandelion in Thailand and Myanmar. They use it to make teas. So this powder is all natural. It's made from the flower. It will turn food blue, and it's actually somewhat medicinal, I think. So this with a little hot water, some lemon, some ginger, some honey. You could have some blue tea if you want. You don't have to go this far. But again, the bar in this house is pretty high, so I'm just trying to do the right thing today. So what we're going to do is make...
Really quickly, before he gets started, we are going to be answering some questions at the end. So if you ask some questions, we're going to be clicking on the question icon and getting to those answers at the end. Please go ahead.
Yes, chef. So, first thing I'm going to do is make the actual pouch, that little blue pouch that we're going to fill with smoked salmon and caviar. And so, caviar is traditionally served with blinis. Sami doesn't actually love having things that take away from the texture of the caviar for her. So my thought was to make a pancake, which a blini is a pancake, but make it thin, more like a crepe. So it's more like a little blue crepe that I'll use to be the pouch. I've got a cup of flour, 3 cups of milk, 5 eggs, and I'm going to use this butterfly pea tea powder. I'll put 1 teaspoon of that, blend it in the blender, and make crepes. So I'm going to go back here and do that. Actually, I'll bring the blender over here so you guys don't think I'm cheating.
Is there anything I can do to help and be your sous chef?
Of course. She's actually the queen of eggs. We've said this before. In fact, I am actually giving her the title of anything eggs person, her responsibility.
The only thing I can offer in the kitchen is soft boiling eggs. I love to pickle eggs, scramble them, do everything with them. So I guess I will do the cracking.
Can you crack 5 eggs into this 3 cups of milk?
Yes.
So 3 cups of milk, 5 eggs, 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of butterfly pea powder, flour, I don't know what to say right now. And a little bit of salt to season it. Look at them egg cracking skills. With those nails, look at those egg cracking skills.
You know, the long nails help really get in there and crack it well, so it works out great.
Can I help you?
Yes, please. You can tell who's the chef and who's not.
We only have 20 minutes, chef.
Always wash your hands after cracking eggs.
I just washed mine. You guys heard the water, right? We're gonna disappear and wash our hands. Maybe wash some dishes a little bit. So, okay. Now, this little powder. I got this at a local health food store here in Los Angeles. If you don't have a store like that where you are, obviously there's that place that you can buy things where it just shows up at your door the next day. You could always go that route too. In this particular case, I did go to the store and find this locally, so it's not like some strange ingredient that we had to go foraging for in Thailand for days and days.
What is the name of it again?
Butterfly pea flower powder. Say it.
Butterfly pea powder, flower powder.
The blue stuff, as we call it in this house. Okay, so I'm going to blend this into a batter. So when you make pancake batter, generally you mix it by hand, you get all the dry stuff hydrated. A crepe is a much thinner batter, thinner than a blini batter, obviously. So I'm going to blend this in the blender so that I can hydrate all that blue powder into the milk so that we can create these adorable little blue pouches, which I promise you are 100% edible and will shock everyone when you show it to them.
I have a question. Does the blue powder add any flavor?
Minimal. It doesn't really add any flavor. It's more about the color. If you actually add acid to this, it'll turn it purple.
Okay.
So it's like, it's one of those things, like we can't just pour a bowl of cereal in this house. That's like unacceptable. So, and then as a chef, generally when I come home, I just want to make simple things. Scrambled eggs, grilled cheese sandwiches, stuff like that. But that's not okay considering the fact that she grew up in a household, Joel, her father, and I've eaten his food. It's some of the best food I've ever had. I'm not saying home food, it's some of the best food I've ever had.
Dad, are you watching? I hope so.
I hope that got me some points too. So I'm going to blend while she talks to you guys. Go ahead, tell them about what you got going on right now. You guys get the picture.
Well, I'll just give you a really nice view of how this is going to turn out at the end. So you can get some nice visuals.
Non-stick pan. Nothing crazy. Again, I always said I want to do stuff, when I do this kind of stuff, I want everything to come from the local store. So we did get everything from the store, no fancy pans, just a non-stick pan like you would use to make like your omelet or your eggs in the morning. I'm going to get it moderately hot, and the reason I want to do that is because when you add the crepe batter to it, you want it to basically like cook immediately and set itself, because we're not trying to brown this for a couple reasons. One, I don't want that like toasted flavor really in this. I want it to taste more subtle than that, because when you bite through, and hopefully she'll do this later, everything around the salmon and the caviar just kind of disappears, and you just get to the good stuff. You get to what's inside that little blue pouch.
Is there anything I can do while you were doing that? Maybe paint the chive?
We've given away the secrets already. Okay, so now she's already using chef terms. Paint the chives. That's a traditional cooking technique that's been around for centuries. Painting chives gold so they look like little gold strings. Wow. So I love how casually she drops that too.
There's very little I can do around here in the kitchen, so I'm trying to figure out how to be a good sous chef.
So this is pretty hot, and we'll talk about painting the chives if you want. Basically, we've got some edible gold luster, and I've taken...
What does that mean for us normal folk? What is edible gold luster?
It's edible gold. You can buy it, you can eat it, you can look it up on the interweb, and you can have it shipped directly to your house.
It's just edible gold powder. It just looks like normal powder, and you can eat it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, you can eat it, you can decorate with it, you can paint it on your teeth and make a grill if you want.
You should try that.
These chives, all I did was blanch them in boiling hot water for like a second to get them soft. And that becomes the string that we tie around our little blue pouch.
You put them in hot water and then you put them in cold water, right?
Just to shock it. Yeah.
To shock it.
And then dry it with a paper towel.
And then it also, when you blanch, it retains the green color of vegetables as well.
Yeah, chef. See? What did I tell you? She came from a household. You guys just have to go there and see it for yourself. So, this is the edible gold. The chives are blanched. She's going to brush those chives with that gold luster powder, and that's how we're going to create the gold string that goes around our little blue pouch.
And this is just a regular brush. It looks exactly like a makeup brush, so we all kind of have this. Just obviously make sure it's very clean because you will be eating the contents that go on it. So I'm just going to lightly brush. It's very simple.
Can we talk? Can we switch for a second?
Yeah.
So while she's brushing, as you can see, I did about 1 ounce of that batter, a 1 ounce ladle, into the hot pan. It's set immediately. I'm going to put it back on low heat and just let that cook until the edges of the crepe start to cool out of the pan. That way I know it's done. We can pull it off, and then we'll show you how to fill it. Oh, we got to talk about the filling too.
Yeah.
Here.
Let's do that.
You can, if you sit it down, you can hold one end of it like this, dip it in there, and then just...
And just do one stroke the whole way. Okay. Should we talk about the insides?
Talk about the insides of that pouch.
Yes.
Let me pop this little guy out. So this is ready. I'm gonna basically just tap it onto a tray. It comes right out, and we end up with this pancake. So bellinis are something. This is actually really hot.
You can see the steam.
Bellinis are something that are traditional, part of the traditional caviar service. Sami, like I said, loves the flavor of the caviar. She's kind of a get-to-the-point type of girl. So I never want to disappoint her in those situations. So these are nice and paper thin. Look at that, and it actually will fold and behave like paper or like a little blue velvety kind of pouch.
It really is such a perfect Tiffany blue color. You killed that.
Can I slide you over
Yeah,
a little bit
I'll move this back.
while you're painting? You can stay here, chef. I know who the chef is in this house too. Don't.
Definitely not me.
It's a term of a chef actually like means chief, so the one that's in charge. So I'm the sous chef right now. I'm going to continue doing my part. Usually,
get back to work.
Yeah. See. So the insides of this smoked salmon. I bought the smoked salmon this morning because this is a 20-minute live. So if you guys want to sign up for like the 24-hour live, I'll smoke some salmon for you. But in this case, to make it easy, I bought this and then took it out of the package and rolled it up to look like a rose just because I felt like showing off today. So that's where we're at with that. I'm going to put that on a cutting board now and just mutilate it with a knife. So I've got a knife, smoked salmon, cutting board. I'm going to cut this up into little pieces. And this is going to be part of the filling. So bagels and lox, obviously, something people like, right?
I'm a huge smoked salmon fan. I like to just eat it plain. I love it on eggs. It's a really great topping on scrambled eggs. Lox and bagels, traditional treat.
What about lox and caviar? How does that make you feel?
Lox and caviar sounds like a perfect combination for me.
So if I were to put smoked salmon, caviar inside of a little blue pouch, tie it with a gold luster chive string, and give that to you for Christmas or whatever holiday, or Hanukkah, is that acceptable?
Yes, that
Perfect.
sounds like a perfect gift for me.
We all know that's not going to be it.
Do you know what type of salmon that is? I know there's like Scottish.
This is Scottish smoked salmon.
Okay, and I think Scottish salmon is actually my favorite because isn't that the one that is smoked the longest?
It's not necessarily about how long they smoke it, but the salmon itself from Scotland is some of the best in the world.
But it has like I don't know the right word, but it's kind of like a tougher texture. It's not as like raw seeming as...
Really, like to me, like smoked salmon, it really depends on the individual's recipe. It's become a lot like spaghetti sauce at this point. Like smoked salmon is done based on how the artisan wants to do it.
Yeah.
In this particular case, though, smoked salmon specifically from Scotland, to me, in that case, it's more about the quality of the fish. Like they're just the Loch Duart salmon, which comes from that part of the world, is some of the best salmon there is.
And then speaking of, everybody has their own flavor profiles that they like. So the fun thing about this pouch is that, you know, it's all enclosed. So if you don't like salmon or caviar, or you want to put something else inside of it, then that's completely up to you. You can make it sweet, you can make it savory. That's the beauty of crepes also.
See, she's like changes my recipes, tells me what to do. All right, so
The fun of being a girlfriend, right?
the chives are actually going to play two roles in this. They're not just here to be the little gold string that ties around the pouch. We're also going to shave some chives, put that in as well. And this is kind of a riff on what's called a rillette, smoked salmon rillette. Rillette means basically cooked down in its own fat, preserved in its own fat, and used as a spread. Pork, duck, that's the traditional rillette. With salmon, a lot of people will use creme fraiche and butter mixed together. What I'm using is just like a cream cheese that I lightly whipped. I just like the texture of cream cheese, but also when you're doing an hors d'oeuvre party, you're passing the hors d'oeuvres, it's good to think about how long will that last if it's sitting out on a table or if you're passing it around a room. So for me, the cream cheese is a lot more stable, and we're not going to put a whole lot of it in here. We're just going to put enough to like bind that smoked salmon together, because again,
We want the flavor of the salmon to shine.
and what else is going
And
in
the
here?
caviar.
And the caviar.
Yes.
So
Should I take another bite of that?
you do whatever you want. This is your house. Here. So I've got lemon, zest. And a lot of people are intimidated by this tool. They use it the wrong way. They take their hands and go like this, and then they end up zesting their fingers in this
Hold
stuff.
on. Oh
This
my
is a PSA on safety right now.
God. That was so good.
If you use the zester like this, there's less of a chance that you're gonna zest your finger off. So a little bit of lemon zest in there.
Is there anything else I can do, Chef?
You can grate some pepper in there.
Oh, great. Nice and easy for me.
This is some, flip it over.
Oh, yeah.
This is some, we can't show this is some smoked black peppercorns that I found at the grocery store.
A close-up on my beautiful Tiffany rings also.
Super stoked when I found this pepper. It smells and tastes real smoky, so if you want to give that like a little,
How many, oh
get
yeah.
it this way, and then
Flip it the right direction.
just give it a couple.
How many of you out there have, on accident, tried to twist the pepper or salt in the wrong direction? I definitely have done that.
I'll say me. I've done that. I am guilty of that.
I've definitely done that.
All right.
Is that enough? Ooh.
Yeah, that's perfect. And a lot of times when people cure the salmon, they'll put black pepper and spices into the cure. And I like to reintroduce some of those spices when I'm making like a dip or a spread out of something. Reintroduce the spices that I feel like were probably used when they cured the fish initially. This is that cream cheese. You can take cream cheese, throw it into a mixer, and just whip it up until it's nice and light. And that's what you end up with. So it's almost like it's whipped cream cheese. So whipped cream cheese. Put that in.
And then what? Fold it so that I don't.
You can actually, because of how much I chop the salmon, don't be shy with like getting in there.
Okay.
And if you want to use, if this is easier, you could use this.
Yeah, I think so.
And just kind of like. It's so like, we're hanging out with each other, cooking together, which we do several times a week. Right now, there's all of you here. I wish we could just kind of real time talk and hang out with you guys, but we'll get through this part and then take some questions, talk about really anything you guys want to talk about after this.
Yes.
Look at how good she is at this.
Oh, really? I was just thinking how not good I was at this.
So we're gonna add just a little bit more, and I'll tell you why. Because we want to be able to pipe this, and when I say pipe it, I mean put it into a pastry bag and easily pipe it into our little blinis, our little pancakes, our little crepes, our little blue pouches. What do you think?
It smells so
Can I
good.
take a
Yeah,
look?
go for it. The lemon zest really adds a lot of brightness to the dish.
So now, as you can see, well, you can't see because I'm hiding it from you, but when I'm finished hiding it from you, I'll show you that it's not like liquidy creamy. It's more, it's like a dip, right? So we're gonna put this smoked salmon dip into one of these disposable pastry bags. If you don't have that, you could use just a plastic food storage bag that you get from the store. You could that works the same way. I'm a chef, this makes me look more like a chef, so I use this. What you could do is
Tell me.
this is what it looks like out of the pan, right? We want to let it cool. That's not hot.
Yeah.
I would never do that to you.
No, I know. Yeah, so these have been sitting and...
But just so you guys, they know we're not cheating. This is the one we just made in front of you. Back here, blended, made. A lot of chefs, when they do demos, I'll be honest with you, they cheat. They'll do stuff like prep it all ahead of time, and look how beautiful this is, and manipulate it and give you the wrong recipe. We don't do that in this house. In this house, we make everything the right way and show you guys so that when you do watch us for 20 minutes, you can walk away with something.
Yes. So I assume I am shaping the crepes so that they are perfectly nice circle. Okay, so just a regular, what is this called?
Cutter. Cookie. It's basically a ring cutter, cookie cutter. If you don't have this, you could take a plate, put it down on top of it, take a small knife, cut it all the way around, and then you'll end up with the same thing.
Yeah.
The other cool part about this is we've now got this, and so while you're prepping for your guests, and generally what happens to me is I'm usually cooking for everyone, I don't get to eat, right? So this is when I sneak stuff out like this, like I sneak this. The mousse is made, the scraps are there. I usually get to eat the scraps anyway,
fine.
so, oh, you want some, I don't feed you the scraps.
I want the scraps.
I don't feed you the scraps. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh wow.
and understand again why this creative process. Not to keep talking about Joel, but
That is so good.
I've been to their house in San Francisco, and I think the first or second time I went there, her dad's like, would you like some avocado with ikora? I don't know if you guys know this, but ikora is salmon eggs. And generally at the sushi restaurant, it's the little salmon eggs that you get on top of your sushi.
If you follow me, you know that I'm obsessed with ikora.
So her dad, knowing that I'm a chef, basically pulled the ultimate flex and offered me, and with no hesitation, would you like some avocado with ikora? I'm like, this is different. Wow, I'm at somebody else's house and they're offering this to me, and he's a professor. So understand why I can't just put the caviar out and give it to her with a spoon, even though she'd probably prefer that. The bar has been set very high. So we've now got these little rounds, these little blue rounds. We're going to turn them into pouches. I'm going to set this aside so that they can see this nice and close. And then we've got our filling, right? The filling is going to go right in the center of this. Not too much, because you want this to be a one bite, it's an hors d'oeuvre. So the way I see this is...
You also obviously put it on the uglier side.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So the part that was the outside, that was cooking in the pan, that's actually the inside of this. So I flipped it over.
That side usually ends up a little bit more brown.
Yeah, slightly, because of the heat.
Yeah.
And then your favorite part.
Yes.
We put a little bit. I just need enough room because I'm gonna smash it down a little bit.
So like this much?
Yeah, perfect. And we can use this other spoon to scrape it off onto the middle of that.
Okay. And it's okay that we used the spoon that I put in my mouth because we are going to be eating them all ourselves.
Well, we're technically not allowed to have anyone over right now.
That's true.
Because we are being safe.
Very responsible.
So that means the two of us are about to eat a whole bunch of caviar. I wish you guys could all come over. Unfortunately, that's not allowed right now in Los Angeles, so we are going to... So then, let me show you. This is kind of the trickiest part of the whole thing. You just kind of push it.
Did I see that? Yeah.
So if you're forming it, you're just kind of using the contents of it to like stick the pancake together so that you can form these little blue pouches. And then to keep it together, she put so much caviar that it's actually shooting out of the top of this, just so you know what we're dealing with here. Can you grab one of your gold?
Yes.
How are we on time?
Oh.
We're gonna tie this. We're gonna tie this because we told you guys 20 minutes. You're actually staying here and hanging out with us, which is cool. But we want to give you guys some time for some questions. I'm gonna tie this with that little chive or gold string that we've painted.
Should I start looking at questions?
And so now, well, let's show them our finished work. We don't want to just. And then if you really want to like bling it out a little bit, we've got some gold, edible gold here, sheets.
Wow.
That you can just sort of...
That, oh wait, hold on, move it this way. I can't see.
And
that
I mean,
is so
like,
fancy.
imagine going somewhere, I don't know, maybe the Tiffany store, and Sammy and I are there passing these little guys around. Or if you don't have a chance to get to the Tiffany store, but you've decided that you watched this, you were a good student, you took down notes, you have the recipe, and you're going to try to make this at home, I guarantee that when you walk out into the living room with this, and you start walking around offering these to people, you know when we've all been to these events and they're passing things around, they're like, hey, would you like to have this slider? Like, how many times do you have to say no? But how do you say no to that?
So beautiful.
Like,
should I taste one?
this is a little blue pouch. She loves caviar.
I'm tasting.
I love her.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays. I'm going to let her field some questions because I feel like I've been talking the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
How's it?
It's so good.
And sometimes, since we're alone,
I'm going to cry. It's so good. I'm not even joking.
since we're alone, we can cheat a little bit and do like stuff like this. This is how we play.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry that you guys can't eat this. It's so delicious.
Here.
You have to make
Come over
this.
here. You got gold. Yeah, she already made the grill. She's got gold on her teeth. But that's what's fun about this gold luster powder. Like, if you don't believe me and you don't think it's edible, you can give yourself the ultimate. Like, if you're like, oh, I really want to see what I look like with a grill. That's all I got. That's it. That's a wrap for me.
Gosh. That's amazing.
I got my grill. I got my little blue pouches. I got my caviar. I got my girl.
You are so
We did it.
ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to look at some questions now. Oh, wow. Are you guys a couple? Yes, we are a couple. Thank you for asking. What? You have gold all over your lips. You
It's
look like
okay.
you have gold lipstick on.
It's okay.
Let's see. What are our Instagrams? Oh my gosh, I have gold all over my lips too. Our Instagrams are, my Instagram is at Sami, Sami Miro, Miro, and Michael's is Voltaggio. You want to spell that?
Voltaggio.
Okay. Are those dishes supposed to be over? Someone asked if these dishes are available at Breakfast at Tiffany. Not yet, but maybe. Maybe after this Instagram live they will be. We'll find out. TBD on that one. Let's see.
What do you guys think these should be available is the question. There we go.
Yeah.
I feel like a signature dish has been created here.
These questions are very funny and creative, you guys. Someone asked if you can repeat the name of the blue powder.
So it is the butterfly pea flower powder, and it's from Thailand and Myanmar, but you can buy it pretty much at any health food store. Butterfly pea. You can make smoothies turn blue with it, but really there's only a couple ingredients in the world that are blue, that are natural. There's one algae that will turn food blue, and then there's this powder, and there's not really much else that'll do the trick.
Okay, someone asked 2 questions. What is your favorite Tiffany bracelet? Great question. I am wearing these 2 beautiful bracelets right now and these rings. Someone also asked, what do you like better, bracelet or rings? And I think that it really depends on the outfit. I like both. I think that rings are probably my number 1 favorite because I like to wear them on every finger and never take them off. Let's see, should we answer one more question?
No, let's stay and hang out as long as they will. I'm not going anywhere until you guys are finished asking us questions.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, what else do we have here? What are you doing? Are you cleaning over there?
I'm doing the dishes. I can't see their question. I can't see them.
Get you a guy who does both the cooking and the cleaning. All right.
Well, I also got to take a picture of the dish finished because there's times in my career where I'm like kind of outdid myself, I think, and I'm pretty shocked at this one. So I will be photographing this and reposting it again later just to brag about this idea that Sami made me conceive for her.
Okay. Someone asked, or actually, let's see, which gift can you promise me when we go to London? Someone asked a very great question, and this will be our final question. You guys asked a lot of great questions, so sorry we couldn't get to all of them, but the last question is there a place where we can get the recipe from? And the answer is yes. We will be posting the recipe ourselves on both of our Instagrams, and I believe in the Tiffany stories, they will be posting it. So somewhere between the 3 of us, me, Michael, and Tiffany, we will be posting the recipes.
I'll write it, distribute it to them, and then somehow, yes, it will surface to this virtual universe of ours.
Can you guys see the gold on his lips still? It's pretty great. Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. People
Do you guys want to throw us a whole bunch of... Uh-oh, almost dropped. Throw a bunch of hearts up right now if you had a good time with us today. If I could heart the screen, there would be like blowing them up everywhere. But thank you guys so much. There they are. Look at all them hearts. As you're enjoying that caviar. She doesn't even eat what I made. She's just the caviar.
I like both. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. I hope that you guys try this recipe or do your own spin on it and send us the results. That would be really fun to see.
Thank you, Tiffany's.
Thank you, Tiffany family.
Thank
Love
you
you
all.
so much.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.